Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything you know is gone. No buildings, no roads, no phones, no fire, unless you can make it yourself. The temperature sits somewhere around -30 degrees, and the wind cuts through you like a blade made of ice. Welcome to the Pleistocene. Welcome to the Ice Age. And the question is simple but brutal. Could you survive here for 100 days? Now forget everything modern. You are not you anymore. You are something older, something tougher. You stand about 5 feet 5 inches tall. Your brow is heavy, your jaw is wide, and your hands are your entire toolkit. You are a hominid. Not quite what we would call modern human, but something extraordinary in your own right. You have instincts sharper than any survival manual, and you are going to need every single one of them. Day 1 begins with a problem that would break most modern people in hours: exposure. The Ice Age tundra is a frozen canvas of white and gray stretching in every direction, punctuated by frost-covered boulders and the skeletal remains of stunted pine trees. The air is so cold it burns your lungs with every breath. Your group, 5 of you, all you have in this world, needs shelter before nightfall, or the cold will claim you before anything else gets the chance. You find a natural rock overhang. Not much. A shallow indent in a hillside that blocks the worst of the wind. But it is enough, for now. Over the next several days, your group transforms this bare stone into something approaching a home. You drag massive mammoth bones across the frozen ground, stacking femurs and ribs against the rock face like a grotesque scaffolding. Flat stones fill the gaps. Animal hides, stiff and thick with remnants of fur, are stretched over the frame and tied down with twisted sinew. Dried grasses get stuffed into every crack and seam. It is crude, it is ugly, and it will save your life. Fire comes next, and nothing about it is easy. There are no matches, no lighters, no convenient sparks from steel. You kneel on frozen ground with aching knees and spin a dry stick against a flat piece of wood with every ounce of strength in your calloused hands until friction, beautiful, miraculous friction, produces a tiny ember in a nest of dried grass. When that first flame catches, the relief that floods through your body is almost spiritual. Fire means warmth. Fire means cooked food. Fire means predators think twice before approaching your camp. Fire means survival. But fire does not fill your stomach. By day 10, hunger is a constant companion. The Ice Age is not generous with its provisions. Your group hunts, crouching behind boulders on the frozen steppe, watching herds of massive bison-like creatures grazing on whatever dried vegetation pokes through the snow. You grip your wooden spear, its tip hardened by patient hours held at the edge of flames, and you wait for one animal to drift away from the group. Then you run, bare feet pounding through snow, muscles burning, lungs screaming in the frozen air. The throw has to count. A missed spear means wasted energy and another night of gnawing hunger. When the hunt succeeds, nothing goes to waste. Absolutely nothing. Sharp stone flakes, each one carefully chipped from flint with precise hammer strikes, become your knives, your scrapers, your surgical tools. Meat is cut away. Hides are stretched and cleaned for clothing and shelter repairs. Bones become tools, supports, hammers. Fat is rendered. Sinew is dried for cord. In this world, waste equals death. But the Ice Age is not content to merely starve you. Around day 25, the predators arrive. A cave hyena, thick-bodied, powerful, and absolutely unafraid, appears near your camp at dusk. Its eyes catch the dying light and fix on your group with calculated hunger. This is not a creature that scares easily. Your heart hammers against your ribs. 3 of you form a line, shoulder to shoulder, spears forward, one of you gripping a burning branch from the fire. You shout. You snarl. You make yourselves as large and threatening as your 5'5" frames allow. The confrontation stretches for what feels like an eternity until the hyena decides the risk outweighs the reward and slinks back into the frozen darkness. This time, the nights are the worst. You take turns keeping watch, feeding the fire, scanning the darkness beyond its orange glow for the telltale reflection of predator eyes. The cold deepens after sunset to almost unbearable levels. Your group sleeps pressed together, body heat shared beneath layered hides, the breathing of your companions the only sound besides the eternal wind. Every distant howl sends a jolt of adrenaline through your exhausted body. Around day 45, a blizzard hits. Not a gentle snowfall, a horizontal assault of ice and wind that reduces visibility to almost nothing. Your shelter shakes. Snow forces its way through every gap in the hides. The fire struggles and nearly dies. Your group huddles in terrified silence as the world outside becomes a howling white void. This storm lasts 3 days. When it finally passes, the landscape has been reshaped. Familiar landmarks have vanished beneath deep drifts. Your food stores are dangerously low. Desperation drives innovation. You learn to fish, plunging bare hands into ice-cold water to grab slippery prey. You set crude snare traps along small animal trails, twisted sinew loops anchored to bent branches. You dig through frozen ground with bone tools searching for edible roots and tubers. Every calorie is earned through pain, patience, and ingenuity. Injuries happen. A deep gash on a forearm from a slip on ice-covered rock. A swollen knee from the constant pounding of walking on frozen terrain. There are no antibiotics, no bandages, no painkillers. The older female in your group chews medicinal plants and bark into a paste and applies it with practiced hands. Crude hide wraps serve as bandages. The group supports its wounded, feeding them, protecting them, waiting for recovery. Abandoning the injured is not an option. Each member represents irreplaceable knowledge, strength, and warmth. There are moments of wonder that almost make you forget the suffering. A clear night when the northern lights, enormous curtains of pale green and ghostly purple, ripple across the sky above your frozen world, and your group stands in silent awe at something none of you can begin to explain. A morning when a herd of hundreds of Ice Age horses thunders across the distant plain, the ground trembling beneath their collective hooves, and you feel small and humbled and alive all at once. By day 80, something has changed in your group. You move differently. You communicate with efficiency, gestures, grunts, pointed looks that convey complex meaning. The juvenile who could barely hold a stone flake on day 1 proudly presents a small hand axe of their own making. Your camp is organized, drying racks for meat, designated tool-making areas, stored fuel, reinforced shelter. You have not merely survived. You have adapted. You have built something. Day 100 arrives not with celebration but with quiet resilience. You sit around your fire, healthy, strong, scarred but burning steadily, and you eat. The frozen world stretches endlessly around you, as hostile and beautiful as the first day you opened your eyes in it. You have lost weight. You have gained scars. But you are alive. Could you survive 100 days in the Ice Age? The answer, whispered by the wind across 40,000 years of frozen tundra, is this: your ancestors did. And they did not just survive. They endured. They adapted. They passed down the spark, of fire, of knowledge, of sheer stubborn refusal to surrender, that eventually, impossibly, became you. The next time you feel cold, remember, the Ice Age lives in your bones. And somewhere deep inside, a hominid with heavy brows and calloused hands is still watching the horizon, still planning, still surviving. One day at a time.